to the mixed reality workflow. And the mixed reality would provide you with the opportunity to this time, instead of using, let's say, QR code that your iPhone might be needing in order to finding out the point correspondences between the model and reality, this time for you to clicking on reality and telling the model that this is the point that I am looking for. So for this, you have the first part is that, of course, we're going to be talking about the HoloLens that has the ability for you to also communicate with reality and with your model in an interactive way. And that's where we call it mixed reality. So for the augmented reality, we had very, very limited opportunities to, let's say, go and touch it or move it around, very, very little, unless the app provided us with that opportunity. With this, now we have much more interaction where we can move it around, let's say, with our fingers, we can play around with it and so on and so forth. This is what we refer to as a mixed reality situation. So this here with an app which is called BIM HoloView, if I'm not mistaken. And with this, the first part is that you have to, of course, install this BIM HoloView plugin inside of your Revit. And then what you do is you have to go and find essentially these reference points, and you go and basically place it there. And when you can of course put it in your library and everything as well. But then you go and say, okay, where in my model do I want this particular reference point to be? Okay, and I say, okay, I want that to be, let's say, somewhere around there. And that would be my reference point number 1. And then you can, of course, have multiple of these if you want to, just in case if your model is not, let's say you're not sure that there is any visual interruptions with that particular reference point. You are likely in terms of the application to place it in multiple different directions. But really, because these only perform a rigid body transfer or a similarity transformation in one direction, in 2D, you only need 2 of them. So you typically have this number A that you need to do, and then there's a B as well that you can provide as well. And then it finds out which ones are the closest ones there together, and then it tries to use that for registration. So this is the A, and then from that, you also need to have a B for your reference. So this is reference B. So their reference points, the way that they have provided it is you have an A-B situation, and then you have 3 different ones as well, C, D, and E, F, I believe. And those are going to be the pairs that you're going to be using and pairing together to perform that registration. So you really need 2 of these. So you need 1 A and 1 B, but to be sure and to make sure that you're not selecting multiple of these and you're not basically interrupted with your point of view, it's a good practice to be able to use multiple of these as a generic best practice rule to ensure that everything is there properly. So here I had 3 of the number A and then 1 of number B, and then what I do is I select what the device is, and then I go and I proceed. Once I proceed, it basically processes it into an FBX format, and basically is already uploaded and downloaded there. And then what I do is in my HoloLens, I have to, of course, download this app here. I'm going to show you what happened when I downloaded it and I wanted to immerse it inside my particular project. So again, what you do here is that you can basically work with it. What you do, as you can see, it gives you the opportunity to select where what is. And from that, you can say, okay, this is where I want it to be, and this is where it's going to go. Okay. And then from that, you have the 2. And then once you have the 2, then you can come and select these 2 together, right? And then now you can move it around. So you can say, okay, you know, I have to go to the left, right, in the direction of the point of view. And there are various different other options in orthogonal direction of your point of view, and so on and so forth. And then here again, the reason why is because, of course, those 2 points are not as accurately put together and have an exact replication side by side. And there's a reason why this is not being immersed properly. So therefore, you need a significant amount of, let's say, fixing and playing around with it to make sure that, okay, are you actually in the proper positions or not? And again, there's a reason why I wanted to show you this, is because even though you might be using some of these tools and options, there is a significant problem with your ability to be able to essentially utilize this as effectively as possible, just as an exact solution in a construction project. So if every time that I want to do this, I have to spend, you know, hours and hours to perform this, is this actually the automated solution that can provide me with the results that I want? And this is something that needs to be taken under consideration. So this was basically more or less where I was able to get it and take it to the place that I wanted to go. As you can see, there's quite a bit of problems with the superimposition. However, this was more or less the best that I was able to take it. Otherwise, it basically would go to a place that I don't want it to go, and then essentially take it from there. So this here, I basically put it a bit farther away, try to do that. Then I'm going to go a bit up and down. And essentially, this was where I ended up being, okay, I'm more or less satisfied with what this looks like. And then you can go and take it from there. So what this provides is a basic opportunity for you to be able to say, okay, your particular device does not have the capabilities required for you to be able to properly and effectively and accurately emerge the reality to what you're going to have from your device. However, this is as accurate that I was able to provide it. There is opportunities, of course, for you to be able to do it even more accurately. If you have the option to perform it multiple times, you would be able to do it as well. And here, basically, have these as the superimpositions. Now, for actual being able to properly perform, let's say, tolerance checks, this wouldn't be something that can be utilized accurately, at least in its current form. However, you can see that there's opportunities for immersing the reality to what you have here as well. Okay. So this is with respect to our Microsoft HoloLens and the ability for us to be able to perform mixed reality on construction projects. Now, there are some inaccuracies with respect to the reference point, and the reason why is because they're not as proper. The ways that we're moving it around is not as